What's up, guys? Today we're doing CJ Stroud. Set almost every record in the books with like 400 and something yards and like 5 touchdowns and a comeback touchdown to win the game with 46 seconds left. Walk off, genius, fantastic, right? Guy I really respect, Doug Farrar, one of the better film analysts out there on Twitter, made it very mainstream. He does a podcast with Greg Cosell. It's awesome. Called him an alien brainiac. And that's when I knew I had to do a video on this game because people are freaking out. And people are talking about CJ Stroud should have been the first overall pick. I mean, he's better than Bryce Young, so maybe so. People are talking about CJ Stroud's already arrived. He's already a top 10 quarterback. They're giving him love like crazy. And I don't think anybody stopped to consider that maybe, just maybe, the Buccaneers defense is that bad. So I broke down every single one of his like 44 dropbacks in this. And I'm asking you, don't tell me where he messed up, because he messed up a few times, but that's not the issue. I would rather you tell me where he impressed you, because watching this game, there were very few plays where I was impressed with CJ Stroud's processing or his ball placement. In fact, I thought there were a lot of examples of him not maximizing the value that the defense provided him. Now, granted, the defense provided him a lot of value, so he did great. But that's enough talking. That's way too much talking. Let's watch some film. We're going to get started here in CJ Stroud's fantastic game, or so it's perceived, with a terrible throw. And note that coverage. Note this drop, super soft zone coverage. That's what the Bucs did all day, and that's why CJ Stroud had so many easy completions. Like, that is a wide open throw. It's literally not covered. It's short. There's no excuse for missing that ball the way he did. Like, sure, Tank Dell could have caught it, but it was a terrible throw. Here, CJ Stroud does a really good job of getting outside the pocket and throwing the ball away. So it's a plus pocket move and a throwaway, right? Top of the drop. He could throw this ball, but it's probably going to get batted. I have no problem with him just living to fight another day. On to third down. Third and long, and this is just pathetic. Everybody's wide open. He takes forever to get through his reads. The Buccaneers secondary doesn't cover anybody. And lucky for the Buccaneers, it's a fumble. But 3 dudes are wide open on this play. Everybody's short. Nobody is covering these receivers. It's ridiculous. I promise you, every one of us can make that pass. If you can throw a ball 10 yards, you can make that pass. Drive 2, little play action bootleg. Pretty good throw, actually. That's a solid throw. You know, it's not the tightest of windows, but it takes some anticipation. It takes a little bit of cojones. I like that ball. That's a good ball. Solid throw. New set of downs. I think it's second and long. And then again, this is a solid throw, but nobody's covering him. Right? You got Tank Dell, a speed receiver, on a backup safety, and it's wide open. Give him the solid throw. He took what was given, but it's not great, and it's not reproducible, right? It's not something that's going to keep happening. Also, I'm so sorry I slandered Antoine Winfield. He's a star safety. I thought it was Ryan Neal for a second. It was Ryan Neal. Okay, never mind. Fuck Ryan Neal. A little bit of motion. It's obviously zone. Wide open over the middle of the field. CJ Stroud takes off and flips the ball out to the flat. This is not impressive, right? This is not good processing either. Watch this. Watch number 8, bottom of your screen. That's Mechie. Not covered over the middle of the field. Stroud's looking right at him. Throw that ball. Please throw that ball. Jesus Christ, throw that ball. Instead, he waits, lets a rush develop, bails out of the pocket, and throws a ball that's got no chance of going for a first down. It's a plus movement, but it's also a routine throw, maybe bad, and it's not indicative of good processing. He certainly isn't the alien brainiac that Doug Farrar called him today on Twitter. That was rough. The Texans love running these little RPO quick slants, and it works. Routine throw, super easy. basically uncovered. And that's what happens when you don't let your cornerbacks jam at the line of scrimmage. Especially odd considering the Buccaneers have big, strong corners who can't run. But alas, touchdown. Routine throw. CJ Stroud hasn't made too many mistakes yet, but he also hasn't done that much that's really impressive. It's pretty much an even keel performance to this point. Here, watch CJ Stroud from a very clean pocket. His receiver at the top of the screen is about to absolutely toast this cornerback. This should be a touchdown. CJ Stroud just throws it out of bounds and way too far upfield. That's a terrible throw. And I get it. It's tough to throw a ball 50 yards downfield, but that's really bad. Don't worry, though. CJ Stroud's a ball placement specialist. Just ask him. Look at this throw. And come on. The guy put up great stats, and he took what was given to him, but this performance was not great. Already, we've got about 4 completely unforced misses against really soft coverage from really clean pockets. That's not competent, right? Like, so far, CJ Stroud has not proven a damn thing to us. Routine. Little play action, tons of time in the pocket, and a routine throw into soft coverage. Again, waiting to see CJ Stroud impress me. All right, a little bit more play action, and again, super soft zone, nobody covering the middle of the field whatsoever, and it's an uncovered 15-yard curl. It's solid. He took what the defense gave him, and the defense gave him a lot, but this is not great. This is certainly not reproducible, right? Like, this isn't the kind of thing that you can do over and over because most teams are going to have much, that's 5 muches, better secondaries than the Buccaneers in this game. Here we finally have some man coverage from the Bucs, and it's busted off the start, and CJ Stroud throws a pickable ball. Look at this. Like, Antoine Winfield should have picked this ball off. And this is one of the only times in the entire game that the Buccaneers actually run man coverage. They almost never do it. Run a little man. The corner is beaten within 2 steps of the slant. That is a disgusting failure. That is the kind of stuff you never see. And the ball's behind the receiver and in the safety's lap. Let's watch the tight copy, and you'll see just how bad the ball placement was, or maybe the wide angle lied to us. It's a little behind, but it hits him in the head. It's actually a routine pass. CJ Stroud would have been really unlucky if that went the other way. Now, it wasn't a well-placed ball. It certainly was not a ball placement specialist's throw. It was behind the receiver. You want that out front so he can run into it. But it wasn't terrible. And here, another deep shot. CJ Stroud's deep shots almost always miss. He's bad at that. And Antoine Winfield, if he was a step faster, gets a pick there. But obviously, I'm not criticizing Antoine Winfield's range in coverage. He is a very, very good safety. But yeah, so CJ Stroud was not good in this first half. Almost every positive throw he's made so far has just been a really soft zone and a 10-yard curl. And he's missed a lot of open throws. Like there, again, it's a short slant against a soft defense, giving him the middle of the field because there's not much time left in the half. This is routine. Nope, perfect leverage. And by the way, Carlton Davis is getting cooked, by tight ends. Carlton Davis might not be fast enough to play linebacker anymore. Here, uncovered player. It's just routine. Like, good on you for finding the first or second read that's literally not covered in the middle of the field. But that's a failure of the Bucs defense, not CJ Stroud reading the play really, really well. Like, this is disgusting. This is terrible defense. And I know that's going to get redundant and repetitive and annoying, and it's going to sound like sour grapes. But this is the worst defensive performance I've ever seen any team have. Right? And I'm the idiot who bet on this team. By the way, here, top of the drop. Absolutely immaculate pocket. Watch the middle of the field. Right? In the middle of the field, we got two dudes wide open, like uncovered open. Watch what happens to him. CJ Stroud never notices that they both get wide open. Wide open, right here. Both of them wide open. Honestly, the only reason you might not throw to 85 Noah Brown is because 19 is too open, in the way. And like he might think it's a bad ball for him and he might break it up. Also, you've got the running back right here at the outlet. It's second down. Instead, CJ Stroud throws the ball away. That's a bad throwaway. That is a no-plus pocket move, negative throwaway. It is an ill-advised throwaway. He wasted a play for no good reason. In fact, I'm going to show you the tight copy because I want you to see that it's impossible not to notice these two dudes wide open right in front of your face, dude. You've got no pressure. Why are you bailing out of this pocket? There's no pressure. Throw the fucking ball. It's just bad quarterbacking. So no, I don't think that CJ Stroud's a brainiac alien. I don't think that he is doing special things as a processor and making sure that he's only throwing the wide open, easy routes. I think that he's just playing a really bad defense, and that happens. By the way, another play where the curl is wide open. CJ Stroud looks at it and doesn't do anything. Instead, he waits around and invites pressure, waits for pressure. And he does some decent work maneuvering the pocket, but then he throws it away. I'll give him a plus move because he did extend that play longer than it should have gone on. But CJ Stroud is the reason that they're kicking a field goal here instead of continuing to march down the field. All right, we're kicking off the second half, and CJ Stroud's in empty. The Buccaneers have a lead. Time to come back. Routine throw. And CJ Stroud's stats exploded in this particular half, but he didn't actually do much. Comes out in empty again. Takes a bad sack. Let's see what he should have done. All right, here's his drop. He's at the top of his drop. Not a lot of places to go with the ball. However, I would argue this is a pretty good option over here. He's wide open on that streak. I know it's tough, but I'd much rather throw the streak and fail with a ton of leverage when you're clearly toasting both the corner and the safety than, like, take a sack. That was pay dirt. Throw the ball. So get a little bit of motion. It's zone coverage. The Buccaneers are playing a shell. And the screen. Routine. First down. Plenty of time in the pocket. Nobody really open. And rather than try to make something happen, CJ Stroud throws the ball away. I'm perfectly fine with that. That's a throwaway. I think they actually might have called a holding on that, but I don't think there was anything material. So the flag gives you a new set of downs. First down. Wide open. Just, that's a routine throw. I know it's about 9 yards downfield. It couldn't be more open. It's just, there is no Buccaneers defense, right? Almost every one of these plays that we're going to watch today ends one of three ways. The Buccaneers get a sack. No fault sack, obviously. The Buccaneers let up a big chunk uncovered. Those are the only two things that happen. Here, CJ Stroud does a good job of navigating a muddy pocket and flipping it out for a routine pass. Screen routine. Here on 3rd and about 15, watch the top of the screen. It's going to be a 15-yard curl. Soft coverage. Corner had no interest in actually stopping the play. It's a solid throw. I mean, 15-yard curl that takes arm velocity that a lot of quarterbacks don't have. We'll call it good. I have a confession. I lied a little bit earlier. I said that it was the beginning of the second half. This is the beginning of the second half. Little play action, ample time in the pocket, and a solid throw downfield. Now, why is this not great? It's almost 20 yards downfield. Because who the fuck is covering him? It's wide open. And Ryan Neal, by the way, probably the worst safety in the NFL. Shout out my boy Alonzo, contributor to the podcast. He said Ryan Neal was a Pro Bowl player. Is he? because that is a solid throw that just went for a long touchdown due to the fact that the Buccaneers are not an NFL football team. This is not impressive. I'm sorry. This is a solid throw. This is fine. It's not covered. There's nobody on him. Like, yes, you threw the ball 20 yards downfield, and I'm impressed because, there are some quarterbacks who can't really do that, Mac Jones and Tua. But that's wide open, man. Another fun wrinkle is that the Texans' kicker was hurt, so we get to watch a lot of goal line action. And here, CJ Stroud throws a pickable ball. And we grade that as pickable because it is a 2-point play. There are very few plays in an actual, regular set of downs that are worth 2 points. This one is worth 2 points. Good job by 47 to make that tackle, because if it goes the other way, it's another 2 points for the Bucs. All right, next drive. First down is going to be a run. Here we got some motion. It's zone because nobody reacts. CJ Stroud, ample time in the pocket. And again, a guy who's totally uncovered. Now, I want you to watch the tight copy because this is really egregious coverage again, and it's not even a good throw. Like, frankly, this is a bad throw, and if there's coverage, it would have been broken up. Now, I'll give him the routine because it doesn't have to be perfect when there's literally nobody in the screen. That's a bad throw, though. Routine throw, but realize that if it's any team but the Bucs, if it's any team actually trying to cover receivers, that's a bad throw. All right, so this throw is going to go for big yardage, but again, this is late. It's just not covered. Right, so on an out route, this is a speed out. And on a speed out, you want to throw the ball as he's breaking. So right about here, where the receiver starts to turn, that's when you want the ball to be coming out. You got to throw with some anticipation so your receiver can catch it as he runs to the sideline. I think that's Zion McCollum out there, number 27, who's not playing football. Completely lost, 5 yards of separation damn near by the end of this. And watch how the receiver has to come to a complete stop. Like, the reason that's not complete is because CJ Stroud is substantially late on his throw. Again, not alien brainiac behavior, Doug Farrar. I'm sorry. I love you. You're one of the best, but come on. What are we doing here? Now, that's still a good throw. It's a solid throw. It should be completed. And it's solid because it's so far downfield and it's very catchable. But the process is not good, right? This Bucs defense doesn't exist. This is effectively running plays on air. It's 7-on-7 at worst. Honestly, every Buccaneers player that is in the screen on this play should want to quit. Because look at this. First of all, super soft rush. CJ Stroud's running around for no reason, and almost all of his receivers are open, so I don't know what the hell he's thinking. I don't think CJ Stroud's ever seen a streak that he actually wants to throw, right? Like, I know, it's scramble drill. But right here at the top of this route, the running back on the wheel is already winning. He's gaining ground on Devin White, and Devin White is notoriously bad in coverage. Noah Brown is open at the curl, but I understand you don't want to throw short of the sticks. Right here, 29 has bitten, at the bottom of the screen, 29 is bitten on Lord knows what, so now you're out past the sticks, is wide open, and you still have a clean pocket. CJ Stroud wants to run because he's scared and doesn't want to throw the wheel route to the running back at the top of the screen for God knows what reason. So instead, he throws this routine ball. And that's a maybe it's time to retire moment for Levante David, who just gets juked out of his shoes by a tight end who doesn't actually even move. This is bad. Here at the tight angle, you'll see there's no real rush. There's no reason to bail from this pocket. He actually creates pressure on his own. And then here, 86, just bad angle, bad tackle attempt, and you get stiff-armed. That's the trifecta of maybe it's time to hang him up. It's a routine throw. It's a plus pocket movement. It's not a special play. Happens all the time. And then here, this is actually CJ Stroud's best throw of the day. This is real nice. Finally, CJ Stroud actually throws the deep ball. It is wide open, as always. It's a little late. You'd like to see it a tad earlier. But when you beat the corner that bad, Carlton Davis did not win a single rep in this game. I'm not exaggerating at all. It's the worst performance I've ever seen a cornerback have in my life. You can afford to underthrow it a little bit because the only thing worse than underthrowing is overthrowing, right? You always want to underthrow if you have to miss. You'd love to put it perfect on a dime, but that's hard. Here, Stroud doesn't put it perfect on a dime. Bad throw, ball placement specialist. Here's another one that should absolutely be on the Buccaneers. How the fuck are we professional football players real? I'm just going to pause it and then make some circles where I think who might be open. Do you see that? Okay, so the yellow circles are places you can throw the ball to a wide open receiver, and then the red circle is a vacuum that is sad and disgusting. On first down, there is nobody at the first or second level of the defense. This is pathetic. Todd Bowles should be fired for this play in and of itself. This is prevent defense in the third quarter. And it's inexcusable. So CJ Stroud can ignore the streak to Tank Dell again. He can ignore the outbreaker and the flat, and he can ignore the deep comeback. He can throw the flat to a tight end, and his tight end can get 15 fucking yards because the Buccaneers are not playing football. And yes, there was a hold on this play on the offense. But, Jesus Christ, man. That's terrible. Here we got some play action on second down. And a routine throw. Good pocket movement. That was nice. But again, uncovered receiver, less than 10 yards downfield on a curl. That don't impress me much, to quote Shania Twain. Or maybe somebody else, I don't know. Screen routine? No. End around. Not a pass. Ball placement's not going to be great on this, but it's still completable, and it is routine. Again, I'm waiting for CJ Stroud to impress me. He did have that one really nice sort of Tank Dell, though. Ball placement, specialist. Throws the ball out of bounds. Bad throw. I think this is fourth down. And solid throw. Just a, regular ass curl. But that's one of the first tighter window throws that CJ Stroud's made all day. And again, Carlton Davis is getting cooked by the speed of a mediocre tight end. That's sad. Really good job by CJ Stroud to run that in. Give him a neutral run with a broken tackle. That's nice. Want to see something pathetic? We finally have some man coverage again, but now it's Carlton Davis on Tank Dell. That's not good. Luckily, CJ Stroud only throws the quick slant for 30 yards. Routine throw, a lot of yardage added to the box score. Again, the Buccaneers are not playing defense. It's not that they're playing defense poorly, it's that there's literally nobody rushing or covering on almost any of these plays. Seriously. You don't think you could do that? I think I could do that. I think any NFL quarterback could do that. This play is going to be kind of weird because it's totally impromptu, but good job by CJ Stroud to follow the play and turn this into an option. So I gave him a positive run. I treated this like the same way I would treat a really good pass. I don't think that this was how the play was designed, but the fact that CJ Stroud was there, ready, and able to make a play when he was called upon, good stuff. Little play action. Weird play action. Relatively messy pocket, and that's not a good throw. Watch this. So Noah Brown is wide open. So forgive my artwork because I'm a terrible artist, but this is about where the ball should be thrown, and this is the route that Noah Brown's running. Now watch where CJ Stroud actually puts the ball, because he walks the receiver right back into contact and pressure. If Carlton Davis wasn't the worst cornerback of all time, this would be a pick or at least a batted ball. That's terrible. Seriously, Carlton Davis needs to retire. Let's watch the tight copy, and you can see just what a fucking egregious misplay this is by the Buccaneers' quote-unquote star cornerback. Notice how the receiver has to come to a complete stop, do a 360, and catch the ball in the air while spinning in order to make this play? That's because Carlton Davis should have picked that fucker off, but he is just beyond bad. All right, third down and goal. Here's CJ Stroud at the top of the pocket. things haven't really developed yet. This is kind of I don't like this play call, and it's kind of a failure of the wide receivers to not get deeper in their routes. CJ Stroud does a really good job of breaking out of the pocket and locating the one and only real option he has. And he puts a decent enough ball on him. Let's watch the tight copy to see if this was catchable, but I think it was dropped in real life. Again, good job to escape the pressure. Had to escape the pressure. And he puts a good ball on him. That's a good throw. You know what? That's a good, if not great, throw. And here the Texans kick a field goal to win the game, right? Right? Wrong, because we still got 3 more drives left in this game. And the first one's going to start off with a tiny little dump off that's super routine and goes for 15 yards. But there'll be a holding on the play, so we'll try that again. And the Texans are going to run, so we're not going to show you the next play. This play is going to be another one that goes nowhere because of a hold. CJ Stroud does a good job of escaping the pocket, hold notwithstanding, but then he throws the ball out of bounds. So that's a bad throw, and it's a holding. We've got 3 plays run in this drive for the Texans, and they haven't done a goddamn thing. Again, good job of escaping. Vita Vea collapses the pocket entirely. Shaq Barrett gets held, and CJ Stroud puts the ball out of bounds. So this is second and forever. And here's third and forever. And CJ Stroud's going to fumble and get sacked, and that's on Stroud, right? You got to at least it's one thing to get tackled in the pocket, right? Not all sacks are a quarterback's fault, but lots are. It's another to not keep care of the ball, right? And also, you've got a wide open dude. And I know it's short of the sticks, but throw the ball. Top of the screen, open dudes. Throw the ball. Instead, he fumbles. It's on him. It's a sack on him. Bad play by CJ Stroud. That's his second turnover-worthy play of this game. And he's lucky they're just punting, because if the Buccaneers recover this ball, it's game over. But for real this time. All right, here it is. The final drive where CJ Stroud goes the length of the field in about 45 seconds to win the game. And it's going to start off with a super easy routine throw, because the Buccaneers know that the Texans don't have timeouts, and they're just trying to funnel everything towards the middle of the field. The Buccaneers are begging CJ Stroud to take short completions to the inside of the field so they can't get out of bounds and they burn clock. The problem is the Buccaneers also didn't stop them from doing anything else. So that's a routine throw to start, and it's another routine throw. Good job to tackle him in bounds. You got 30 seconds, and they're at about midfield, though, because you've let up 30 yards on 2 short passes. And that's the problem with prevent defense. Because if you get one big shot against it, the entire thing goes out the window. And right here is where that shot's going to come, I think. Clean pocket. Now, this isn't the big shot, but again, watch. Clean pocket. No pressure whatsoever. All these defenders, these guys are just sitting there. They're not doing anything. They don't want to stop the play. They don't want to make a tackle. They're just hanging out waiting, making sure that a touchdown doesn't happen on this play. And they're thrilled that the Texans are going to get stopped at the positive 45-yard line with 22 seconds. But again, if you let up one more play like that, all of a sudden this game is in jeopardy. So CJ Stroud has 3 routine throws on this drive, and he's already moved 40 yards. That's bad defense. And on this play, not the spike, CJ Stroud is going to actually make a very good throw, a great throw that will effectively slash the Buccaneers' throats. So again, really, really soft zone. The Buccaneers are running like the softest cover 2 of all time, right? Watch how the defenders aren't trying to defend anybody at all. And watch number 27 just ignore the man he's supposed to be dropping and getting depth with. Now, it's a great throw. Don't get me wrong. But 27's Zion McCollum fucked this game. And 30, backup safety, because Ryan Neal got benched, also fucked this game. This is terrible. Good throw by CJ Stroud. Great throw by CJ Stroud. But it's a 3-man route effectively, right? Because they're not dumping it off. And this corner was supposed to get deep with this receiver. He doesn't. He just stands there. Frankly, if you really want to obey prevent principles, ignore this guy, right? So this guy at the sticks is the reason that this corner stayed up here rather than getting deep and taking away this deep shot, this whole shot in between the safety and the cornerback. But if you're playing prevent, you don't care about the 10-yard completion, right? There's only 20 seconds left. Let him have that all day. Regardless, it's okay. You need 1, maybe 2 stops in order to win this game if you're the Buccaneers. Unfortunately, they won't get one. From the 15-yard line, again, more soft zone. Look, nobody interfering at the line of scrimmage. Nobody actually matching with a man. Nobody getting on a receiver. And Carlton Davis gets burnt once again. Everybody stands by and watches while the receiver runs right by him. Tank Dell again. Carlton Davis literally never moved his feet. This is a good throw. It's not a great throw. There was no coverage. Literally every ball that CJ Stroud threw in the second half, the Buccaneers had somebody nearby not playing coverage. And that's my issue with it. So you've watched every snap with me now, and I think we can agree CJ Stroud didn't really have that many very impressive plays. He had the great throw on third down, touchdown to Dalton Schultz. Not the last touchdown, but the one before it. That's good. It was really good. It was great. And then the second last pass on the final drive, that deep corner, that was great. Absolutely. And we'll give him an elite throw on the bomb to Tank Dell, even though it was wide open, and even though I think it was actually a little bit late. We're not going to nitpick that hard. It was a great ball. It was downfield. It was in stride. Elite. Go ahead. If you do that every play, you're going to win every game. That being said, he threw a pick. He had a fumble. He took sacks that were on him. It wasn't all rosy. In fact, he was only accurate on 73.8% of his passes. That's about league average. Additionally, if you look at the first half, he was bad. He was straight up bad. He took a sack he shouldn't have. He was inaccurate 5 times, and he only had 3 throws that I thought were even remotely impressive. It was almost all routine throws, and the Bucs gave him routine throws. And good on CJ Stroud for meeting expectation and then exceeding it. Right? There's nothing wrong with a B- quarterback. A B- is an above average starting grade. That's good. If a quarterback puts up a B- performance like this every single week, he's Kirk Cousins. He's Andy Dalton in his prime. That's a solid quarterback. That's a good quarterback, dare I say. It's certainly a franchise quarterback. Now, I don't think it's ever going to be easier for CJ Stroud than it was against this secondary. And I'm not sure how sustainable this is, because if you look at the other games I've graded this year, and there are only 3, it's a small sample, but he hadn't been that good. You see a quarterback who's a good game manager, who's got some arm talent and some athleticism, but he's not special in any way. And he certainly isn't a ball placement specialist like he claims to be, and he certainly isn't some alien brainiac like Doug Farrar calls him. He's a mediocre quarterback, a mediocre starting quarterback. And that's a good thing. Now, maybe it's not what you want when you draft a guy second overall, but it's better than about 15 to 20 NFL teams can say they have, right? It's a hell of a lot better than Bryce Young. So let's temper our enthusiasm with CJ Stroud. His game was good. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't great. It was good. It was productive as all hell, but Carlton Davis deserves a lot of those flowers, not CJ. If CJ Stroud continues to perform like this, I will feel I graded him a little bit too low. I thought he'd be a little worse. I gave him a 2.2 grade coming out of college, meaning I thought he'd be a really good bridge quarterback, maybe a Dak Prescott caliber guy. But right now, if I had to go back and grade him, I'd give him like a 2.4. I'd say he's a starting quarterback, and probably a pretty decent one. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I missing something? Are you more impressed by certain throws than I am? Do you think I was too harsh somewhere? Hit me in the comments. Let me know. But until next time, I'm going to be right here doing just this, grinding the film. Asta.